Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live hangout. And this is a first for the channel. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and I wasn't sure exactly how it would work. I didn't, I told, I think Wesley earlier today, I wasn't sure if this would be a giant train wreck or not. But, you know, we've had so much great support over the years from all of you guys watching at home. And of course, all of our Brotherhood of the Bat members. And I thought, how fun would it be to hang out with some of the members tonight? And again, first of all, I can't thank you guys enough for your continued support. You guys are absolutely incredible. And anyway, I just want to welcome everybody to the show. These are members of the channel. And if anybody was a member and wanted to join us, I posted the link in YouTube. So if you're watching right now and didn't get the link, feel free to join us. The more the merrier. So I've got this guy right here, Wesley Hanson. How's it going, sir?
What's up, buddy? Doing good.
Great to see you. Thank you for being here. And then we also have the Ben Cave in the house in this amazing, we've seen this tour on the channel before. Absolutely incredible collection.
How's it going, guys?
Glad to have you here. And then we also have Mr. Lane Kramer in the house. How's it going? I like your legend Lane there on the bottom.
Well, that's what my usual tagline is what as I'm referred to on some of the 6-scale channels and stuff that I usually appear on. But hey, at least today I can say, unlike most times people watch me, I left my door open, so I at least can say, hey, I have a little mini-me thing of some actual statues or collectibles actually in the background there. So I cannot just feel like I want to shrink out of the camera right now, looking at the rest of your guys' camera and what is within view. But it's great to be here with you guys. I am knocking off a YouTube bucket list.
Oh,
tonight.
we're really glad to have you here.
Be to see at least once in my life I'm had to do it. So I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Well, we're glad that you're here as well. Anyway, I do want to say hello to some folks. This is just a hangout show tonight, so we can talk about collecting, and I want to definitely talk about some of your collections and your collecting experiences as well. But let's say hello to some folks. Bat Beast is in the house. Says, I think maybe resubscribe, maybe. Remembered up. Ben Cave right there. Thank you very much again, everybody. We got Dwayne in the house. We got Ronaldo Rodriguez, a Brotherhood member. Everybody saying hello. We got Terry here. Danny Mitchell. Jonas says, congrats on the new edition. Oh, I'm assuming he's talking about my Finch pieces. Mr. Popo says, hey, guys. Ledge Limited Collectibles. How's it going, guys? Hope everyone is doing well. Cylon says, hi, guys. We got Emma here. Not me thinking it had glitched because I could watch the stream. Here we go. Danny says, oh, wow, next time I'm coming in. Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you guys want to join us, you don't need a webcam. You can get just on your phone. That works also. But if anybody wants to, I did post it in the post on the Facebook group. If anybody would like to join us, obviously you guys found the link, so that's at least that's good. That's a good sign. Jeff Houghton in the house says, hi, guys. And get Killer and Moth. I only have Jeff. I only have one more spot really after I get the CGC ones in. But did you guys see the Finch video today?
Yep, those are killer. That Batman and Bane, nice stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to just call yourself, I'm Finchman, like #1 or something like that with all the Finch art. I mean, David Finch has got to like know at least your last name at this point for how many pieces you bought from him in just the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, he definitely does. And you know, he's made some really nice positive comments about the collection and about me, you know, and what we're doing. And we're actually arranging it right now. I don't know if everybody heard, but he has agreed he's going to be coming on Rogues Gallery Live. So I'm very excited about that.
I would highly recommend if you want to see some really good art by him. It's not Batman stuff, but he's been doing an image book, Skin Breakers, which is kind of more like almost an orc fantasy style series and stuff. I highly recommend checking out Skin Breakers. It has been it's not the most original story, but it has been a lot of fun. And Finch is on in his pages and stuff there.
Yeah, they wanted to definitely do something a little bit different. And it's one of those things where he is doing all of the art. He's not writing on this one, but he is, I don't know. And he draws too, like on these massive pages. A lot of people have asked if he's going to be selling those pages, and he wants to keep those for his kids, which I think is really nice. To kind of pass those down along. But it's kind of cool because it's his own creation, which is neat. So anyway, again, guys, welcome to the show. You guys have been around a really long time. How long? When did you guys first discover the channel? First of all,
You were definitely in the first cave in the attic upstairs when I first started watching.
it's been a
So it was
minute.
while
Then.
ago, yeah.
You were just setting up the new bunker when I started in, I think.
So like the 2.0 or this one, the other room. Oh, this room. Okay.
You were upstairs.
You were
still.
building it.
Yeah, in the process. Absolutely.
You were still in the other, like you were in there for, I think it was about late 2000 or early 2001.
Okay.
It was when I first found it. So it's been almost at least 4.5 going on 5 or almost 6 years now.
That's
since
awesome.
I first discovered you.
Well, again, I can't thank you guys enough, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. And I thought it might be kind of fun too to kind of talk about your collecting journey. I was talking with Wesley ahead of the time before we started the show, and kind of it sounded like you kind of started out as a major Funko Pop collector, you and your wife. And do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about what you were telling me, kind of how that worked, and then how you kind of transitioned into statue collecting?
Yeah, so we 2016 we really started with the Funko Pops and then gamer statues, the like special editions, Assassin's Creed, Batman, all those ones. And we just kept buying Funkos, everything we saw that we liked. And last year we actually worked with the owner of Toy Shack there in Las Vegas, and we sold him our entire collection, and it ended up being just over 1,500 pops. And so before we sold that, we had ventured in and I think we had 3 Prime 1 pieces. And so we're like, all right, we're moving into the big boy stuff. We're selling this stuff. And now we're primarily 1/3 and quarter scale and a few of the life-size busts. But it's been a long yet short journey. Once we jumped into the really cool stuff, it really turned into more of we just got to keep rolling with this stuff. And so we're pretty excited with it. And luckily we've been able to bring in some OG BSC stuff into the collection, which that was pretty exciting. So
I was going to say, you have definitely some legendary pieces that used to be in this collection. You want to tell people what they are?
So we got the Batman bust right there. And then we have the Joker over there. So used to be front and center in your collection, and now they're pretty front and center in ours.
Well, I think they look way better in your collection because you have the other busts to go with it, and it just really ties it all together, I think.
Yeah, it was that the Dark Knight Returns bust we had in the corner. I'll tell just a quick story on that one, but we were actually in Vegas and went into the Toy Shack. We were staying at the Plaza, which if you've been there, Plaza's at one side and Toy Shack's on the other side. And we went over there. We found that bust and actually a Venom bust in there that we just had them to get them. And so we borrowed a little cart. And so I'm pulling the cart, and I'm thinking I'm doing just a great job. My kid's job was to keep them on the Diehl, and Mal was bringing up the end. And I thought I was doing perfect. We got to the Plaza, and both Mal and Isaiah looked at me like I was just horrible, because the whole time I was running into people, almost knocking them off the cart. I guess it was ridiculous, but I thought I was doing a good job. I was completely oblivious. Well, that's Vegas West for you.
I was going to say, there you go. One thing I'm really impressed with is, again, I've kind of gotten to know you even more through the auction shows that we've done. Crazy night the other night, by the way. That was insane.
A little ridiculous there.
Yeah, a little ridiculous. I see Matt's in the chat saying, "What's up, Wesley? Nice to see you." But we've kind of discovered too that your wife's into this too, and I think that is really awesome that you guys kind of collect together and do that. I think a lot of us are pretty jealous because a lot of our family could care less about the collection, but it's nice to see that you guys collect together.
Yeah, we would not have this kind of collection if she wasn't into it too. I'm kind of it takes a lot for me to jump into new things, and she's like, we love it, let's do it. And we kind of got a rule to where we both have to like the statue to buy it. And a couple times she's bent that rule on things I really wanted, but for the most part we have to agree that we love it, and then we add it.
Well, I'm really glad that we've enabled you guys.
Yep, definitely have got some scores on the auctions and stuff for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I was talking to Wesley before the show. Like, I'm hoping that some point here soon, he'll do a room tour for us and kind of show us all the stuff that they've collected in a really, like you said, a really short amount of time. But I just see a ton of great pieces back there. Can't wait to see it all.
Why is it whenever Chris puts things like that, because he always has the big smiles and stuff on, his thumbnails and everything. He tells a story like that, but I picture like a little like demon horn Chris inside his head going,
Hey, I always say sorry, not sorry.
I don't know, but I always picture that sometimes.
Yeah, well, it is like there have been times where I'm like, oh, I kind of feel sorry. It's like, oh, making people, spend all this money. But like, I love this stuff, and I love to see other people get this stuff too. And I think it's just a lot of fun. And so, again, life's short. You got to enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like that tactical throne. We had both decided we weren't going to get it. And then you opened yours up and watched the review. It's like, oh man, we screwed up. And so we had to find it. And so now it's a centerpiece in our setup too. And it's like, I can't believe we had decided to pass on it, but it's crazy how once seeing a review in like your setting or, other collector setting in hand, it kind of changes your perspective on them.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because I didn't pre-order that one right away. I did the Batman versus Croc, but I didn't pre-order right away the Bane. I didn't pre-order the Batman versus Batman Who Laughs. And it's just funny how sometimes those either they grow on you or, like you said, you see video or you see photos and you're like, why did I sleep on that? Like, why? What was I thinking? Of course, the cost is, it's a lot of money for these things. But just sell another kidney and it'll be good. That's kind of where I'm at, I feel. But
that's
anyway,
a simple answer. See, Chris is a good man from the Midwest. He knows the simple answer. Explanation is the best one.
That's right.
Nice and straightforward.
That's right. Absolutely. Let's move to the Ben Cave. Tell us your story. Again, we've got a chance to see your collection on the channel, which again, I just absolutely love how you've done your setup. But tell us about you and whatever you want to tell the community. We're just here to talk and hang out.
Yeah, so my collection story, my whole life I collected toys and whatnot. McFarlane, like baseball, statue, little figures. But 2014, 2015 is when I started with the Funko Pops, just similar. And, I started with the Batman and Joker, and then it grows from there. So then from there, I started collecting McFarlane figures, DC collectible figures, and then 6-scale statues. And then the 6-scale statue grew into Hot Toys. And then the Hot Toys grew into 1/3 statues. And all throughout, I've kept collecting Pops and kept collecting all those along the way. But, now I've got 3 third scales. I got the Affleck J&D on pre-order. So
nice.
It's been a steady slope up, and, here we are.
It is funny how so many collectors do. I certainly did. I started out with Star Wars minibus and some of those things from Gentle Giant, and just kind of kept, like you said, stepping your way up. It's funny how that works for so many collectors. Are you now that you have some third scales, do you have the itch?
I feel like you always feel like, oh, you could do better because you start buying third scales and then that becomes normal.
Right.
I don't think I'd be too into half scale or anything more or like life size bust. That half scale Affleck was always on my, one day I would do it. But with the J&D now, and it's miles better than that piece is, even though it's still awesome. I don't think I'd go up there, but yeah, I probably third scale is where I'm at. Plus, I'm pretty much at capacity with statues. I can maybe fit another 2 or 3 more third scales, but yeah.
I was going to ask if you would even be interested at all in that new Ben Affleck life-size bust because it's
God.
it's a cool piece.
As cool as it is, if I was really going that way, I would need the full suit. Even though I love Nightmare suit, and I have a Hot Toy Nightmare guy, but I would need the full, mask.
Yeah, I don't understand like why they haven't done just like a traditional Batman versus Superman version. Like a masked or even unmasked. I don't care, but like that suit's the best suit.
Yeah.
And the one they did prior by Infinity was the old. I don't even know what did they call that suit? The armored up suit.
Tactical, they call it. Yeah. Even J&D, like with they have the Zack Snyder license, but they did the BVS suit because that is the suit.
Yeah, that's why I bought that one.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Ben Affleck Batman guy. Like he's not my Batman, but I still love that suit.
That's just how good it is. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Lane, a couple of these guys have mentioned 6 scale. You're primarily a 6 scale guy, right?
Well, my I started with statues actually. My first statue collecting started back in about 1997 when I was about 17 years old. I was working at an LCS in New Jersey.
Nice.
It's called Steve's Comic Relief, which is not there anymore. I was back there for my 20th college or high school reunion a few years back. The place looks a lot nicer now than when I was there. But I got a Lady Death statue because, in the Bad Girl era and all that. Obviously she's still around now with coffin comics and stuff. But it took us getting in 4 different statues of her because everyone came with the head broken off. And then on the 4th was the charm. It was an 18-inch statue or so, probably about quarter scale, but it was really tough. That was my first one. By the time, and that's when I was in New Jersey, but then I was going to school and I started collecting statues again in the early 2000s when I was living in Washington, D.C. There was a point by 2004. That was when I was going to a comic shop, and I actually, right before the 2004 Punisher movie got out, I had gotten this mini statue of Randy Bowen's Punisher, where he was holding his guns out and everything. I got it signed by Thomas Jane.
That's cool.
At that point, I had about, and obviously we didn't really have Sideshow quite as much or anything like that at that time, but I had about 24 Randy Bowen superhero busts and about 8 or 9 of his statues. So I had like 36 statues in a studio efficiency apartment. Don't ask me how that actually worked, but I did. But then I ended up moving to Iowa, so I ended up throwing out pretty much all of them. But I sent the Punisher statue actually to Randy Bowen that was signed by Thomas Jane.
That's neat.
Basically, thank you to him for all of the years, and all the pieces he had done, because he gave me a lot of enjoyment when I was trying to get to college. Awesome. Yeah, and then I moved here eventually, where I was only about like a 20-minute drive from Claiborne Moore's studio when he was doing a lot of the statues and stuff for like the Top Cow characters. But I kind of got out of statues because I went to 6 scale probably about 2020, like when we were getting into COVID and stuff, or that I don't think we're supposed to say that actually.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it is what it is.
But that got me into, because I was a big Star Wars was my favorite IP, and that was the easiest way to collect stuff because I could get a lot of characters I could get in statue form. But then it's actually thanks to this guy up here. He got me. I found his channel, and he started getting me kind of back. I was like, I'm 6 scale. That's expensive enough. That's all I'm going to buy. I started watching his stuff, and of course, I got into statues. So, of course, 2 of the first, like, I had only ever done up to 4 quarter scale. Two of the first statues that I get are J&D statues. I get the Harley Quinn J&D first one, and then I got the my favorite Catwoman Hathaway.
Nice.
And of course, it helped. I got like a $5,000 bonus or something that year, so
that helps. Yeah, it helps.
That went all the way.
Yeah, it did.
2 years. but those are my first 2 third scales ever. And then I'm still doing 6 scale more, but I'm a statue guy. Like that was actually, it was because I was a statue guy I was willing to give 6 scale figure. But I've gotten a lot of prime ones the last couple of years. Like, I did put up the video for the Hellbat and stuff.
Yeah. That's a really cool piece. I keep looking back at that one. I'm like, maybe I should have got that one. It's a cool piece.
Yeah, but it's very specific. I think if you were more like just a comic collector, like if you were just a comic collector, I would say. Now, that's a piece I think you can probably find eventually, and it's not going to be super expensive. One of the editions down the road. That might be like, I think that belongs actually, Chris, in your collection, because you have so many different types of Batmans, and that's a darker Batman look, even though it's not, you like villains mostly. Yeah. That's like a very dark, ominous looking suit for Batman. I think eventually at some point that's going to find its way into your collection, because I think it's one of the coolest Batmans they've ever done. I think part of my issue, and the reason, again, like that whole back table, I think the reason why I originally didn't order is because I was kind of ticked off that Prime 1 was switching to quarter scale, because I've been a third scale collector for so long. I'm like, I like third scale. That's my favorite scale. So I didn't like that Prime 1 was switching to the quarter scales. I understood why they did it. It's a more affordable price point. Quarter scale sells better than third scales do. In theory. But since then, I now that I've had the bunch in, now I'm kind of like, well, crap, maybe I should have got all of them, because they're all really well done. They're really well sculpted. And I'm kind of, and they're larger. They're not just a regular size quarter scale like you would get from other people. He's a very big one. Not as big as like Bacon or something like that. But it's honestly thanks to your channel, and then it's through you I discovered like Jimmy and Godlike and just some of the other channels that I follow. So I really am appreciative that I now, I have to deal with, like, I live in an apartment, so my space is even more limited in some ways. Like, my statues are in my living area. I can't, fortunately, I don't have a significant other where I'm having to negotiate where stuff can go. But, I've only owned Batman statues. Like, really, that's primarily what I've had, except until maybe in the last 2 months, I got some that are finally not. I kind of went out of Batman for a little bit. That's been my last couple. But I'm definitely shifting more back into Batman. Like, I'm trying to be like Chris, kind of as focused as Batman as I can, or else it just, we can always comment, even with some of the issues some companies have had in the last year, even, Tweeterhead or whatever, getting stuff out. There are just so many licenses, and Infinity, we're just talking about there's another, version of Batflick in a huge piece or something. Like, how do we keep ourselves focused without, the closest I'd say is drowning. Like, you could literally drown on these statues. You can drown on Prime 1, because I wish they would not put out so many pre-orders in 1 year, because like my issue with them, they're like the Hot Toys with one scale. Like, as Hot Toys put out like 90 releases last year.
It seems like it, yeah.
Like, my problem with Prime 1 is, like, that Berserker Batman went up, and I know that one is like kind of outside of what that's like, literally Batman if he was Guts from Berserk.
Yeah, right.
It's a great looking piece, but it was up for 2 days or barely on the front page before whatever the next thing was that they've got coming out. Like, with them, I don't feel like you get a chance just to ruminate and like take in the, like, oh my God, this is whatever the license or whatever the piece is. Oh my God, it's so big. It's got this, that, or whatever really attracts you to it. And then they're like, off the front page, here's the next thing to look at, even if it's not a license you're into. Like, Mr. Freeze might eventually come up here, maybe in the next couple months or something.
Hope so.
Freeze could be up there for like 24 hours, where you're like, you know what I mean? Where you have the, even if you're not going to pre-order that second, where that anticipation, because that's part of it a little bit, that dopamine hit a little bit. You're like, oh my God, this piece I have looked at is finally up there. It's like center stage. And then boom, it's gone. That's one thing I think like J&D does really good. They build up, and it's up there for however long it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like,
they do what? 4 or 5 releases a year, kind of, so it's like, like you said, it gives it a little bit of room to breathe. I did have a question for everybody. Lane, you mentioned the Berserk Batman. We're all Batman guys, clearly. What do you guys think about that piece? Is that something that you'd be interested in at all, or is it too far out there for you guys?
I think it looks awesome, but I don't. So I collect a few Lord of the Rings statues. Like I got Witch King and a Sauron, and I think that if I had space to put it by those, that it would look amazing next to those and flow with the collection.
So you mix your collection. You got Batman stuff. You got other properties.
Just a little bit. So one corner on 2 racks, I have my Lord of the Rings stuff. And then I have another corner where I have my Wolverine, Deadpool, and a Venom.
Okay.
But other than that, virtually all DC. But like if I had the ability to put it with those as a transition from Lord of the Rings, I think it would fit in the collection and just be super cool.
Yeah, it would be a perfect way to transition to your DC stuff.
But without that space, I think that if I had it just next to a Batman, it would fill out of place. And really, I don't think if you're not a fan of Batman and the mythos and all that stuff, I think you'd look at that and you wouldn't get Batman from it. Like you would play hard going like, oh, that's Bane. That's amazing. If you're not a super fan of it, you know?
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Like I think it's a beautiful piece of art, and the base is my favorite part of it. I love the Bane on it. But I'm like, if you just showed that to somebody, I don't think anybody would say, "Oh, that's Batman." At least that's my opinion. But
you think it's something from Berserk, like an alternate universe or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, what about you two? Is that something you would either one of you guys would consider adding or have already ordered?
It's an awesome piece, but in the world of 1/3, you kind of have to be a little picky with what you're getting, and unless you have just in a perfect world just an insane amount of space, those kind of off representations, you kind of can't go to. And that's kind of why I also love being a Funko Pop collector, is that I can get that I can feel that representation in my collection. Even though it's a little Funko Pop, it's still, there. So for those kind of offshoot pieces, that's when I love getting a pop. But for 1/3, that's a big commitment. Not only obviously money, but the space.
Yeah, it's interesting that you just said like a little taste of the character, because again, I'm going off track here, but like the David Finch stuff, there's a David Finch piece on eBay right now, and somebody is selling he did like I don't know, like this big print of all the villains and all the heroes, and there's on eBay there's a deckled edge. It's a double print, and on the bottom of it he did a whole bunch of little remarks of all the whole bunch of villains on the bottom and a whole bunch of heroes. And the heroes has like Batgirl, Alfred, some of the detectives and stuff. Like I keep thinking, like, should I buy it? Because it's really expensive. I'm like, should I buy that? That way I at least get a taste of the heroes. Because I keep saying, well, maybe I would get the heroes. And so I definitely understand exactly what you're saying. Like it would still be a taste of it. It wouldn't be like the rest of the wall, but at least it would have a couple representations of those characters that, or at least the versions of those characters that I would want in the collection. So I definitely understand exactly what you're saying there.
He was in my checkout. Berserker Batman has been.
He was in your checkout. But why did you not hit the pre-order button?
He is the reason that I had messaged you the other day about it. It's primarily with Prime 1 and their new policy where you're required to record your entire unboxing. Now, I know you said we kind of talked about this, just back and forth a little bit. That my thing is that it's not I'm scared away from Prime 1 for mine. Lord knows I have a couple still Prime 1 pieces on order, like the Phantasm. I'm not getting the Phantasm. Yeah. But has it changed my mind a little bit, at least from them, for very large pieces? Because I've been making some of my other fellow collectors crazy for 8 months because I've been going back and forth if I would pre-order the Sauron 3rd scale, because I really want that piece.
That's a cool piece.
But it's 46 inches tall. There is a point where you go, when is it too much? and it's not, and I have a spot to put it, so I can fit it, no problem. That's not what the problem is, but I'm just like, do I want to deal with even unpacking something that big? That's part of the videotape. I've live unboxed, Harley Who Laughs and Hellbat and stuff, which was very painful to do, but it's one of those things where, do I want to get something that I have to record that is so big and intricate? Like that Batman is going to be like probably 50 or 60 pieces. 2.5 years probably. Knowing they're burning
2 years from now,
or something like that. Probably 2.5 to 3 years it'll take to come out.
Yeah.
But do I want to have to worry and have to record myself putting a big intricate piece like that together? And when there are other pieces, there are going to be other pieces that pop up, whether for Prime 1 or something else. In the long run, I'm going to want just as much, probably as the same. So do I go for Prime 1 and do I get less intricate pieces that I know are like Phantasm is not going to be as hard to put together or with as many pieces as that Berserker Batman. But, it's just one of those things. It's do I want to deal with that? Is it needing it enough,
And like, I think the whole Prime 1 issue, and if you guys are just watching and you don't know what we're talking about. So Prime 1 has come out with a new policy for some of their statues that says, if you have something broken, you have to have it recorded. You have to record the unboxing process. And I think some people are obviously annoyed by that. It is a hassle, but in my opinion, I feel like you're just protecting yourself. If you want to make sure that you get a replacement, then you just got to do it. But I think some people feel like it has to be like this big cinematic thing, and it doesn't. It's just literally you prop your phone up on the counter and you just do the best you can. What I think what Prime 1 is dealing with is enough people obviously scamming them to say, hey, I received this, and they broke it themselves or they're claiming they didn't get it. This kind of just ensures to say, hey, clearly here's the video. There was this piece missing or this piece was broken right as I took it out of the box. Now, of course, people can still finagle that and open it and then repack it and then refilm it again. Like it's not a perfect thing. And, of course, if somebody's going to scam, they're going to find ways to scam. But like for me, I don't see it as that big of an issue at this point. It's like, I think Lane, you'd be fine. I think you would be fine getting that piece and then just propping up your camera and you'd be good to go. Justin Racklin is joining us. Hey, Justin.
Hey, how you doing?
Glad that you're here.
Thank you. I was glad I could make it.
Well, we're just talking about, I don't know if you've been listening to the rest of the show, but we're just kind of talking about kind of our collecting journeys. And do you want to put you on the spot, right? Since you pop in, what got you started in collecting?
I collected comics as a kid. My dad had a huge collection growing up, and eventually he things happened. He had to sell it off for a little bit, but he kept some of the stuff, especially Tomb of Dracula. So I'm a huge Blade fan. Nice. I've got his first appearance still, because I inherited what he still had. And Christopher Reeve, Superman, growing up. So I've collected for the longest time, and ebbed and waned here or there. But I think just before, during COVID time, I maybe made some poor choices and bought a whole bunch of statues. I found
we all done that. Yeah, we've all done that.
I think I found Jeff Delaney first, Secret Sanctuary, and from there I found you and joined this community and exploded on Facebook and the groups there. I always dreamed of having my own comic book space. Unfortunately, I'm in my office. My room is still under construction. One day it'll be ready. But I've got, like several thousand comic books in boxes and, bagged and boarded and all that. And I've got boxes up the wazoo in the garage and in the attic and in the basement. And
so are you mostly a comic book guy then, as opposed to the collecting part of it? Are you mostly a comic guy?
So mostly I started just with comics for the longest time, and then decided I wanted to, get a place of my own. So I stopped with that for a while. Mm-hmm. And eventually, finally, I'd always wanted to get into statue collecting, and finally kind of delved into it. And I found, so I know this is a verboten word right now, but Tweeterhead, on their 6 scales. I was a huge Superpowers toy line fan as a kid. I had all of those action figures. I still have a Robin with missing an arm. He can karate chop backwards if I put the other arm on. And so I found that Superpowers line, and there was a shop on eBay selling the number one, for the edition size, marked number 1 for the Harley Quinn and Superman and a couple other, and so I tracked all those pieces down and ended up picking those up off of eBay, and then getting to know Chad, and again, just getting to know all of the rogues and everything through your channel, and getting into a sideshow. You might remember I sold my soul one year. I got the Wonder Woman animated maquette from Sideshow for a day in the life of Alfred, with selling my soul. My son was Bruce Wayne, and my daughter was Robin.
Awesome.
And yeah, so as work has kind of picked up, I haven't been as active in the community in the last probably year or so as I'd like to be. But I'd still collect what I can when I can. Obviously, I picked up some of those LBS pieces. So I've got the light blue Superman. I haven't got a chance to unbox yet. That just showed up.
Congratulations.
Sitting in my foyer. My wife is dying for me to get that moved.
I bet she is.
She might even be watching and listening right now.
My wife loves the boxes all over the house. Right? Let me tell you.
So I love a lot of the beyond just like statues, but also the props. So like the budget line, mind you, but like the Marvel Legends stuff. I've got Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer and Iron Man's helmet and just a whole bunch of those. And I mentioned Blade earlier. I think every piece that Factory X and United Cutlery, I think is what it was called before that, made for the Blade movies. I have all of those. Blade was my first statue that I got. The first like full scale statue that it's probably equal to like a 7th or 8th scale, maybe. Yeah, I don't think it's any bigger than about 7th scale, but it's him with his Sword of the Daywalker, and buddy of mine in college bought me the sword, so I've got the big huge sword and display, and I was a huge fan of that whole series, so I've got a big Blade collection, in addition to everything else that I've got. So I tend to, except for Superman, because Superman's my all-time favorite. So you guys have seen me always going, "Hey, any Superman?" while we're talking in the chat.
That's right.
I usually try to pick like one signature look or statue, something that really just popped right off the page. And so I don't have a lot of duplicate of characters except for Superman and Batman. I think I got maybe a handful of Deadpools because those are fun ones. But yeah, it's just been real fun. I can't wait till I can finally get my whole collection. It no longer will fit in the room that I have, but I think that everybody has that problem.
Well, you said that your room's under construction. Like, what are you doing in there?
It's a combination of just getting everything organized where I can get everything that I want in the room. And
are you doing like custom shelving or anything like that? Or what kind of shelving are you?
I use the mostly IKEA, like Kallax.
Okay.
So I've got for all my boxes, and I mix and match different sizes to actually expand the shape and the size. So I started rearranging and moving stuff, which made the room a little bit smaller in terms of overall space, but it's going to allow me to get more into the room that I want. Part of it is I have an actual like day bed in the room, so that when I finally am done, I can like chill on a bed and read my trade paperbacks and my the comics and just have a place to relax. And there she is.
Yeah, shout out to Molly, obviously. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you.
And everything's kind of just in pieces and getting shelves up on the wall. It's part of it's procrastination and part of it's funds and just trying to find the right spot. But I've already determined certain things like those LBS, they're never gonna go in that room, but they definitely have a place in the basement because we finished the whole thing up. So
that's cool. Well, it's definitely a process, that's for sure, as you guys know with MySpace.
Yeah.
But it just sounds awesome. I can't wait to see what it's all like when it's all finished. And I think the thing I like the most is you mentioned the daybed, because like that is the best thing that I could have done in this room is listen to all of your advice about adding the chairs, because I spend so much more time sitting in those chairs, just looking at the walls and looking at the statues. And that's really what it's all about, is just chilling and hanging out and enjoying your collection.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what are you guys looking forward to in the next year or so? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you guys all have things on pre-order. Is there anything that you're super pumped about, or you want to talk about your pre-order list a little bit?
I'm pretty excited for the LBS animated series. Got you. When they teased that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to get it, and that was probably one of our first like day one pre-orders we've ever done.
Which one did you get? Black and white or the color one?
We got the color.
Okay, it's in my cart. It's in my cart.
Chris, have you finally decided on your Joker too? Sorry.
I did decide on the Joker. I did buy the purple and with the Harley combo.
Nice.
I did buy that. It was really tough because I really like that black suit, but at the end of the day, I'm like, the purple Joker. I just feel like that was the way to go. Yeah, just the way to go for me.
For sure.
So,
especially with the Harley. I think that we, like I said, because me and the wife collect a lot together, we love our like sideshow, the Batman and Catwoman and the Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
Any of those ones that are showing the couples. We kind of like that, but she was just not sold on the Harley's portrait.
And they did a second portrait, and I think it's better. I still feel like I love just the Joker singular with the cane. Like that's the look I really like. But I'm like, I keep thinking I would have kicked myself if I didn't get the Harley just in case. Like I want to get her just to see how she looks on the statue, and she might stay off the statue. I don't know, but I'm like, I'll at least get it just in case.
Right, best to have options there.
Yeah,
but absolutely. I think that animated series one we're most excited for, and then the Batman versus Joker Prime 1 that should be here in the next month or so.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, and then
they're right there. That guy right there.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna look good right here.
It sure will. Yeah, it's nuts, and it's amazing how wide. I mean, it hangs way off of my shelf, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous that I'm gonna get it, and all of a sudden my whole plan is not gonna work out, and it's gonna be too big for right there. But I'm crossing my fingers. I measure, but
happened to me with Iron Man. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's like you have the best intentions, and then like,
The one I'm really concerned about, but excited, we decided every bat cave needs a T-Rex. And so we were going down that hole, and Queen Studios has their really massive bust.
You're going to get that one? That's nuts.
I'm still hoping that we can maybe do that one, because it was waitlisted everywhere we found it, and we ended up pre-ordering Prime 1's 1/6 scale T-Rex.
Nice. That's a cool piece.
I mean, it looks amazing, but it's close to 54 inches.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's like a 5-foot T-Rex. Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm gonna find a place for it.
Yep.
But I want to try and get. I haven't ever talked to Todd directly there at Spec, but I'm hoping that I can reach out to him and be like, look, I ordered this one through you. This is the one I really want. Is there any way you can come up with that one for me and switch it over?
He'll look for one.
That massive bust.
He's awesome.
Just in the corner, I think would be amazing.
Yeah. Todd will help you out, I'm sure. So that, man, it sounds like you got some really good stuff coming.
Is the best way to get hold of Todd just reach out to Spec or
Facebook?
Are you friends with him on Facebook? I mean, he responds pretty well on Facebook.
I don't think I am. I'll have to get on there and look.
If you have questions, their customer service, like using their chat option and stuff, or their email through them, they're usually decently quick. Not always, but they're usually decently. They're decent for getting back to you.
I'll say Todd did get back to me pretty quick when I had a tracking sitting out there for a while and was kind of wondering what the status was. He got back to me pretty fast by email, just by emailing them in.
Nice.
Real quick, Talkdown says, do you have to be a channel member to get into this segment? So this is the first time we've done this, and this is a member stream. So if you're a member of the channel, if you've hit the join button down below, any tier, you're able to join these member streams. And so I'd like to do these every once in a while because this is a lot of fun tonight. So yeah, that's just kind of what this is. But everybody can be in the chat. But if you actually want to be on camera like this, then we're just doing members tonight. So. Anyway, so let's go. We'll go to the Ben Cave. What do you have coming? Anything exciting?
To go back when I was ordering this guy, the LBS Batman.
Yes.
Todd was awesome. I messaged him straight on Facebook Messenger, and I think it was really late in the process. So on his website, the order button wasn't even. I couldn't even do it. So he set it up for me. He helped me with the payment plan, and he gave me the shipping deal that he had when he first put it up for sale. So he's awesome. And on top of that, one of my heads had a chip in it, and one of my arms, like the gauntlet, was a little chip too. So he had me send it to one of his guys, fix it right up, and sent it back within like a month or so. So yeah,
that's
he's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Todd's got guys. So it's he's definitely created a really cool network of really talented people, and and again, just sometimes, I mean, obviously the biggest gripe is sometimes things take a little longer to get to you, and that's because he has to wait for containers to fill up. But customer service, he's always willing to take care of you, and I always feel like his prices are real competitive. So yeah.
And at least with this guy, it showed up pretty much when everybody else was getting there, so that I didn't even have to deal with that. Because I've definitely heard that from Spec, but no issues with this one.
That's fantastic. Love to hear that.
So pre-orders, I got a couple things. Probably I mentioned it before. My most anticipated piece ever is that J&D Affleck, because that is my guy. And like I said, I always wanted that half scale, but never even saw it for sale basically. And I really wanted that Prime 1 1/3 Justice League on the skull. The Reaper, which is incredible too. Never even see that for sale. So those were basically out, and this J&D piece is absolutely incredible. So super excited for that. No other Batman on pre-order, but that J&D Joker is very much in my mind to go right next to that guy. So I'll see if I do. I'm not J&D, sorry, LBS. So that's a maybe. And
which one?
Purple
singular, or would you go the combo?
Just singular with the cane. I'm a huge Alex Ross guy, but I think the purple is just too iconic not to get.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't love all the portraits on it, but I do like the Gabriel Otto portrait where he's kind of looking off to the side. I think that's good. Yeah. They're also going to, I don't know if you know this, but they're throwing in that Jim Lee portrait too.
Mm-hmm. I think the top hat with the cane is just perfect.
Yeah. I think that's how I'm going to display mine most of the time, I think, just because it's simple, but it's effective.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then outside of Batman, I have the Sideshow Venom premium format on pre-order, which is supposed to be coming pretty soon. So we'll see if that comes in soon. And then I don't have it on pre-order yet, but I'm 100% going to pre-order it. The Iron Studios Wolverine. The
that one
the
turned out
quarter
nice
scale.
too.
Yeah, the quarter scale piece. So he's all crouched. I love that. So yeah, that's it. And a couple hot toys like the Dark Knight Returns hot toy and the Keaton Batman Returns hot toy should be shipping to me next week. So super excited for those.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How about you, Lane? Anything coming your way soon?
Well, I'm still waiting on Flashpoint Batman. Actually,
okay,
when we were talking about Spec Fiction.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one
Still
item
waiting,
I have on order with them right now. I'm waiting on. But I've got that on because I got 4 statues on right now already. I've got Phantasm, which was I blame you for going to get that one. Just getting
day
that
one for me. Day one.
Instead of getting the Batman and Catwoman, which was the one I was waiting for like 3 years for them to finally put up. But I just went, that Phantasm is just so good. And I have a spot to stick it in where it'll fit. Whereas Batman and Catwoman, I'm like, yeah, that one's not big, but it's a little bit longer. And I don't think I have a spot specifically. It's just a little bit too wide to fit it. So, that can play its part. Do we have a spot already for it or not? Kind of thing. But I've got that. What else am I forgetting? I know I have something else. Oh, I have Morrigan, the Prime 1 quarter scale. From Darkstalkers, which was my favorite fighting game. So I put too many quarters.
This is the Supercraft one, or is this the one from Prime 1?
The Prime 1 quarter
Prime
scale.
1, okay.
And I am going to be pre-ordering probably before the end of the month. I order most of my Prime 1 directly from Comic Concepts. That's where it's just kind of where I go from. That's where I get Hellbat and where I have Morrigan. I am going to be pre-ordering that My Shiranui. I'm a big King of Fighters fan. I've played, I think, 12 of the 15 games. They're going to go together on one spot. They're like the companion pieces, kind of. Even though, I will be just staring at her hands quite a bit too. And then I also am considering Fade Routha from Dune 2. He was my favorite character in the second Dune movie.
Great likeness on it.
I have a spot where I can fit him too, and he doesn't take up a lot of space, but he is going to be from where I get it like $1,800, so he is going to be a little expensive. It was kind of between him and the Berserker Batman a little bit. I'm still considering possibly Berserker Batman, but he's more, I kind of might wait till we get, because I'm more focused primarily on Prime 1. That seems to be where more I'm going. I love all of Jay's LBS stuff.
Yeah. But
I have 1/3 scale spot that there is one specific statue I'm waiting to see if it comes back up. I don't care if it's 80 pieces. I'm going to buy it.
What is it?
Waiting. King Batman Who Laughs. That is the one. That is the statue I'm the most interested in. Now, if it's $3,000, I may not get it.
No, I don't think it won't be $3,000.
Yeah. I mean, if it's wacky expensive, I may not do it. But that is the one I want to see painted in most. I have a spot that I want to save for that one.
And he's told me before, projects usually aren't canceled with Prime 1. It's just sometimes they're just waiting for the right time. And they've released every other one from that line. So I would imagine he'll still be coming. Yeah,
at some point. And then, but the Berserker Batman, if I got that one, it would just be, I think I know normally we got to get whatever the switch outs are. But for that one, I would, if I got it, just because of pricing stuff too, I think I would just get the regular edition, where it's just because the only weapon I would pose him with is the big axe.
That's the one you go with, yeah.
Yeah, every other weapon, since I thought the axe was probably going to be like the bonus edition or something, where they put that with the regular one. I'm like, why would you use any other weapon? Like, unless I guess maybe space, except for space, because that is like literally another statue. Why would you use anything else? The axe and the other head sculpts. Well, we were talking about, they just make Bruce look like Guts to me with all their teeth. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mike is a gentleman who I have appeared on a lot of 1/6 scale.
Absolutely. Say Mike pops in the chat all the time, so it's great to have him here as well.
But those are kind of the three right now. My Shiranui is definitely coming, but after that, see if I get Berserker Batman, I'm using that as my pivot more to focus back on Batman again. Like this is kind of my extra stuff that's I want to just have a little diversity in my collection. But the one I'm waiting for otherwise is just Punchline from the premium format, despite her not showing very much of the comics anymore. But
the crazy thing about that piece too is, or even like last year when they did the 12 Days of Sideshow, everything that they showed was up for pre-order within the first 3 months. And so I'm wondering if that's kind of what their goal is. I would assume that we're going to see her pretty soon.
They took a while on some. I mean, the Aquaman took forever.
Yeah.
To show up.
Yeah, long time.
But or the when they did the Luke Skywalker with the X-wing, they showed that one. That one took for. I mean, it's out now, but before it went up for pre-order, that one took I think like over a year or something before.
Yeah, they had showed it kind of at one of the conventions or something with like a sketch, kind of a graphic, and it finally went up for pre-order. But great piece.
But she's the one. She's my full pullback into Batman, like, and probably villain too. But I want to wait and see on that Mr. Freeze, like that Mr. Freeze one. I just really want to see.
Yeah,
the actual
day one for me.
Yeah.
I can't wait, and I know that they were tweaking it to try to make it even better. So I just can't wait. And even if they like say, we're going to switch it to quarter, I'd still be okay with that, just because I know it's going to be a really big, expensive piece. But that would be a neat one. I think if they would, I really think it would be smart if they offered it in both scales. Right off the bat,
like they did with those. I think that you can probably all say that quarter scale Superman Hush came out great and just
absolutely fantastic.
Was just perfect. Like that was a perfect thing to put some easy money into Prime One's coffers.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna do a little promo plug here. So tomorrow, at I think it's maybe like 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. I got to double check the time. But Billy's brother-in-law has the Hush. So we're gonna do a pre-game hangout show tomorrow in the afternoon before the Super Bowl. And then we're also going to do the live unboxing there as well. So a little Hush Superman tomorrow, if anybody wants to hang out tomorrow afternoon before the game.
Yeah. Chris, you literally just beat me. I was about to do a Mick Foley cheap plug for that before, because I actually have to get going because I have another stream I got to do a little bit later.
Okay.
Actually, a little while from now. But I want to say, hey, guys, it was so fun to be on with you and every tonight. Mr. Chris, Batman Statue Collector, you are one of like the jewels of the statue collecting community. Despite you're always 95% of the time positive, obviously sometimes you can get there just like any person, but you always are positive. You try and bring people in even when there's negativity, like with Tweeterhead and stuff. I think you really try to work with everybody, and your enthusiasm is just infectious. To the point of that's why we all sometimes hashtag enabled he spent $2,000. Let's go. He looks like he's having a blast. Let's go do it too. I mean, if I have 75% of a smile on my face, that makes it worth it. All right, but you guys are all fantastic. I love seeing you guys in chat and everything. I hope we'll be able to catch you again sometime. I really appreciate you letting me be on tonight as well. I always am really honored when anybody lets me pop in for a little bit with them on YouTube.
Well, thank you so much, Lane, and thanks for the kind words, and thanks for just being a member and being part of the community. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a good night and have a good rest of the stream. Thank you.
You too.
Yeah.
You too. Oh, I'd say we're about ready to wrap it up anyway, but I did want to hear from Justin if you had any things coming your way soon.
Can we boot my wife before I answer that question?
Put her on mute. Just go like this. Her name was Molly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just Molly. Just go like this. La 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 la. That's all you gotta do. Go in the other room.
Truthfully, actually, not too much because I did slow down. I primarily collect 6 scale statue size, 1/6. I'm not a Hot Toys fan per se. So while the 6 scale fits in the realm, I'm just not it's not my thing. I like the statues. So as stuff prices have gone up, I slowed down. I still have some Tweeterhead stuff on pre-order between Sideshow and Tweeterhead, and hopefully it comes about. I mean,
Need a
he's
couple more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe can we do like is like
Yeah,
can
really.
everybody cross their toes? Yeah. Mhm.
I mean
We got some too.
Yeah.
he's recovered a couple times, and right now it's not looking great, but the quality of the stuff is always phenomenal.
Always.
And whenever there's a problem, he always has made it right. It's just right now things are really tough and it sucks, and I feel bad about the situation, but
PR nightmare.
yeah, there's only so much you can say, but
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple of the Batmans, the bust and Mr. Freeze bust. I think maybe Catwoman, and the retro style Batman that they did through Sideshow. Most of that's pre-orders that are a year or more old and just waiting for stuff to come in.
Yeah.
The LBS stuff that just showed up was, that was again 2-3 years of waiting and whatnot, something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't really have too much that I'm planning to pre-order, and I think I misunderstood a question you said earlier. You were asking about comic stuff. I have sci-fi, so like I got deep into the Eagle Moss Star Trek ships.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I have a huge collection that I plan to display. I've got a bunch of Star Wars from Kotobukiya, the Artifacts line. It's like a 1/7 scale, I think.
Yep, I remember those.
And they're not exactly posable, but they got pieces that you can kind of swap out in and out, but they still look like statues. I've got a mix of stuff there, and I think I misunderstood the question earlier. But yeah, that's that. Just right now, I'm the only thing that I might want to try to pre-order down the road. If she lets me, is that Sideshow, the non-venomized Hulk. I didn't end up getting the other Hulk that they had done recently.
Is it like the ones where his arms are up in the air like that
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
I mean, I really did like it, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. It was too expensive. And then I'm sure this other one's not going to be that much better, but maybe it'll come at a time when I can still do something. Because for the most part, I have a couple quarter scales that I've gone a couple more with that, like the Christopher Reeve Superman PF, and and a couple of the Avengers, like the Cap, the Thor, even though it's movie based, that Iron Man that they did, the Mark 7 armor from the Avengers movie, that piece, just it doesn't matter that it's movie based, it fits no matter what, in my opinion. So I've got just that core Avengers line in the larger scale, but for right now it's just about getting it all displayed and enjoying that aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it sounds like you got some good stuff and some work to do still, because you got to figure all that out and figure out where stuff's going to go. And I'm sure you've probably planned it in your mind a million times, just like I do.
The number of times I've put those Calex shelves together, pulled them apart, put them back together. My wife will kill me if I do it ever again. She's the one who has to
how's your back?
Yeah, back's pretty sore.
I would imagine. Mine's completely shot, but anyway, guys, I just can't thank you enough for coming on here tonight. This was, like I said, I didn't know if this would be a complete train wreck or not, because we hadn't really tested like cameras or mics or anything, and usually everything always goes wrong. But I can't thank you guys enough for joining. I can't thank you enough for your support over the years. It means so much, and it's helped the channel so much more than you guys know. And again, just thank you for being part of this community. And we got to do this again sometimes. I don't know exactly when we'll do it, but would you guys be interested in doing this every once in a while?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, I think this was a lot of fun. And again, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up tonight?
I just remembered one more that we have coming, which I know you're super excited about, the Man-Bat premium format.
Oh yeah, and it's like now to like Mayish or June. Like it's going to be soon.
Mm-hmm. I'm super excited on that one.
And it's such a big piece too. Like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Oh, I forgot Doomsday. Yeah.
Which one?
The tweeter head bust.
The bust.
Yeah.
If that shows up, that I was caught off guard when I got the Superman bust because I didn't realize how big third scale really was at that point.
Uh-huh.
And then I started thinking about what that Doomsday bust is going to look like, and I have no idea where that's going to go. That might be one that I have for a very short time.
And I had the prototype. It's big.
It was that video, I think, that finally clued me into what did I do.
Yeah, I don't think people really realize until even though I had the prototypes here, I think people until they start getting them in hand, they're like, "Whoa, these are legit, and they're heavy and they're really well done." That's what's so frustrating about all the tweeter head stuff. It's like they freaking put out great stuff.
I know that bust is great. Like you look at it, because I got the Tech 1000 that came with the bust, and you compare that bust to that Superman bust, and though it looks amazing, you're like, holy crap, the Batman version of this, the Catwoman, and if he can get his stuff together and start getting them out, I'm all in on that bust line.
And that's what I kept trying to tell everybody is like, when you see it and you get the vision of what it's going to look like all together, it's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
If he gets his shit together, just like you said, he's got to get it together.
Yeah, I also have the Batman on pre-order, which I didn't even think about because, but yeah,
we don't know if we're going to get it. That's the problem. But
no,
anyway.
Stanley, no. They got some great stuff out there. It's just it he means well, but he's just, I don't know. I like to think Chad is a friend. It's just it really sucks. It's a product of their own making, unfortunately. But
just bad business decisions. That's all it is. It's not it's not personal. It's just bad business decisions, and it's not about the art. The art's phenomenal. It speaks for itself.
Oh, yeah. It's Michelle Pfeiffer that he came out with.
Oh my god!
That is still one of my favorite statues in the collection, and it was a good price.
I was such a fan. I remember I was at a baseball game and I got a text from him, and it was the day that he got the likeness approved, and how Michelle was excited about it. And I'm like, he was just beaming. He was so excited about, it's like he's a fan too. It just sucks that it got all caught up in all the nastiness.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up? I'm gonna go watch a little bit of Olympics with the family.
Just thanks again, Chris. Really appreciate the opportunity. I've toyed with trying to start something myself, but again, not having a lot of stuff coming in, it's hard to figure out how do you do that in that instance. But it's nice to just be able to speak to you face to face and versus just in front of a keyboard. So thank you again.
I agree. It's just really great to have the faces. That's what's so great to finally get to talk to you guys.
Yeah, I've been a long time, like I said, long time watcher of the channel, and to talk, see you guys in the chat and on Facebook, and finally get to talk in person. It's really cool.
Absolutely. Well, again, I can't thank you guys enough, and we'll have to definitely do this again.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow for the Hangout stream if anybody wants to join us. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.